In this exercise, we'll be performing application unit testing. In that, here we have to create the, basically in this you have to check, you have to create the view objects also, and you have to check the integrity between the model and view both. So I'll say function test add 10 to input. Now this function involves the both the involvement of the view with the model. So I'll say expected value is equal to 10, say 22, and I'll say, well, actual value. So now before we do it, I'll say test controller dot number text field dot text equal to 12. So you have created a mock view object. Now you'll say actual value equal to test controller dot add 10 to input. The add 10 to input basically takes the text value from the number field. So now I'll copy the same thing and paste it here, and I'll say actual value. Now I'll run this unit testing. It says build succeed, and it gives me an error saying okay. Now it's nil. Basically, why it's nil, I tell you. Because view did load will get called when life cycle of the view is there, right? So when you do unit testing, you have to create separate function, and you have to load your view in that particular function. So you'll say load page. Okay, so now before you create a mock object, that mock object needs to be created, right? Number text field is not created by the system. So here you'll say test controller dot load page. Now when you call this method, your number object will get created. Okay, view did load will get called only when it's in part of the application project, because you're not playing around with the controller life cycle, right? You're just creating a controller object. So it's better to create a load page function where you create out your UI element. So when you say success, you say text success because your expected value and actual value is same. If I input say 122 and run it, it'll give me an error saying was 122 is not equal to 132. So this is how you write your unit testing test cases in your test example. This entire class called test suites. You can have separate test suite for separate controllers. It's allowed. You can create a new test class by right clicking on this test project, say new file, source, test case class. So you can always create a separate test classes for your separate test controllers, view and model. So this helps you to document your test scenarios. So it's called test driven programming. So it's very important to write your unit test cases while designing your own code. So your documentation gets created, all your test scenarios have been checked, and they have been documented for the future references. So in this next module, we'll be doing UI automation. So we'll be using this same project and we'll see how to do a testing without running your app again and again. So regression testing can be performed by using some automation tools. So we're going to explore the UI automation tool provided by the Xcode, and we'll try to automate the output whatever we have created manually.